Hey everyone, and welcome back to Transport Fever, and welcome back to Errors. We're watching the inaugural run of our cargo train coming into the new town of Glenlow. Today we're going to be continuing working on docks and fixing a whole lot of issues that have crept in as we did this. Love how this new dock has come out, but in hindsight there is actually some connectivity issues. The length of the train doesn't work. And so I think we're going to have to completely reimagine this whole area. The initial thing that we do need to work out is particularly the way that the boats dock in. We have this thing, which is like an additional thing, but it's saying that the dock is not in the water, and because this piece of track here is actually meant to be attached to there. So first things first, I want to address that. So we'll get rid of this track. I'm actually get rid of the port. And we're going to do this all again. We're using the key mod from Scotch Bob. Great fun. Go download it and try it yourselves. Hopefully, yeah, this is just going to dock. So, is that happy? I think it was. It actually left a bit of track around. So, I hope that's happy. What I might try to do is actually delete the whole thing that we've made, and we'll get rid of that track. It's interesting that it leaves the track behind, which is fine, nothing wrong with that. And let's try putting that down again. It's actually a track asset, not a water one, because it's got track on it, and we're using this one. So hopefully, does this snap? We have to rotate it, obviously, so it's in the water. So is this going to snap? It is. Perfect, and I think that will resolve a lot of things. It should still be in alignment, which it is. This came over here as like a buffer for runaways, and then just in here we have our swoop across. I'm going to actually bring it down to about 80 to get the speed down, and across it goes, and the same thing goes in this direction. We'll give it some runaway track. So as you saw, the train barely fit in here, so what I am going to do for now is actually give it a different station. I'm actually going to give it number... Actually, that was because it was just the first run. I think I might actually do it over here. There's one in the middle here, number 5, and I think it might look a little bit better if it goes in there. I'm still not sure whether we're doing this the right way, but it is what it is. First things we should do is fix the signals. There's a couple of things that we didn't do, so particularly these should all be one ways, and we missed putting signals on the line. I think some of these can just be this type, so we'll put one on that side of the tunnel. We'll put one over here before it goes over the bridge, and I think another one around here might make sense. I think we'll just go with... yeah, before it goes into the hills, and we'll put another set over here. I'm pretty sure this is a little bit wasteful right now. I'm going to actually put the overhead ones on this one, but as in the line won't have any sense at this point, but I think that's okay. And done. And are we close enough to home? We should be. Once again, we'll put in some things here. Do I want to put an indication if we're going left and right? You know what? I think I will. So that will go there, and that will go there, and we'll put in a gantry. Do I want to just do a 2 wide? Or do I want to do 4 and go over the whole thing? So I might go over the whole thing, and actually we can probably get away with 3. Here we can. So I'm just eyeballing that. Done. So that will do for now from a signaling point of view. And let's fix some of the other issues, and mainly what we're going to do today is we did the pull of the cargo across to here, but we also need to bring in the passenger network over here. This is going to be the terminal station for Great Northern Railway. It's going to go around here through Ambridge and down the line. And same thing with the Great Western. It's going to go around here through Liverpool, and then it's going to come over here and be the end of the line. And we'll just dock them to a side of the station each. So Glenlow itself if I get the right thing, Glenlow itself, when we made it, we didn't give it any needs. So let's do that now. Let's say it wants some bread, and I like to give it one from the left and one from the right. Since bricks is a new commodity that we've just made, let's say it's a brick person, and let's go with tools because it's a bit more industrial. You know, actually, I might go this way around because this is a big industrial hub. We'll go through all of their very industrial type things, and it will have needs. We didn't put any trams or buses in, so that's one of the things I want to do today. I think the auto-gen of the town came out quite nice. I'm quite happy with that. Obviously, we'll have to do something with the wheat field. Actually, we can probably start with that. I think that's just a matter of a quick depaint. I don't think that's too much of a big deal. And yeah, let's start with the basics. Let's get some buses going around town. I think I might put one on both sides. Yeah, because the reach is quite big. And we'll have fun with that. Let's go maybe one on either side of the station. So we'll go one outside the front door. We'll get it away from the steps though. We'll put one there, and we'll put one equivalent on there. And then because it's going to the right, let's go this way. We can go pretty far downtown. We'll go over there. And I don't think I'm going to make any new roads at this point. I think we'll just accept what it is, except for this one. I'll join this over here. And you know what? We can put a station over here, maybe on the main road. Hopefully we'll get some encouragement over here. You're going to let me upgrade? That was weird. Upgrade anyway? Why don't you want to upgrade? Is it because of this thing? Let me get rid of this. Yeah, weirdly, these trees are on the track. I've noticed that there is a couple of glitches like that, so hopefully the save game is in a good spot. Yeah, fingers crossed we're not about to crash and burn and lose it. And that's that one. And then on this side, you're going forward, so let's give this a friend over here. Actually, let's do this. And we'll give it a station there. I'm going to continue that road across there. This is the advanced town builder mod. What's that? Interesting something? I have a mod that makes all of the roads curvy, and rather than that big square grid type thing. And that's why our town here has quite a bit of character to it. And so go around there, and that corner was terrible. Let's try it again. Out and around, and there. All right, let's make some lines, and we'll have an east and a west line. We haven't had a design like this before. It's all new. But yeah, that's going to be fun. And do they have a way across it? If they have to, they can go down there to cross town. We probably could put a railway crossing in maybe at this end. Actually, I might do that right now, so we have it reserved. I'm going to keep that flat, and I think, yeah, we can do that. We can do that, and then this can come out flat as well for a little bit. And same with you, you come out flat a little bit too. Yeah, that should work. How's that look? That looks pretty good. All right, we don't have a depot in this town yet, so let's put one of them down. Do we want to do trams? No, I don't think this is a tram town. I think this is more of a bus town. Let's buy some buses. I love these. We'll grab 5. I'm going to put the first 3 on the left because it's a little bit longer than the right. And voila. And then from a line name point of view, we've made a line. What's that line? Where are you? Manage the line. Oh, it was a dud. It never got made. Right, this is going to be called Passenger, and we are in Glenlow, which is a play on Glasgow, and this is going to be on the west side, and this one's going to be on the east side. There we go. And I think those colours look pretty good. And yeah, all those guys are off. It's a little bit hilly in here, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. I like it. So we probably could just bring in the Great Northern Railway into here now. You know what? Let's do that. Let's have some fun and see that happen. So currently it's a terminus run. It comes, the stopping all station comes all the way from Lonestone. It stops in at our station-only town called Trent on the River, so there's no town associated with this. Comes up the line. It does stop at Reeds. It stops at Ambridge, and currently it does a U-turn here, but what I want to do is come forward. So here at Ambridge, I actually want you to be on platform 1, and then you are going to go forward. You're going to go around here. You're going to skip the quay and the docks, come over to here, and let's come in on the left because you're kind of on that coast. And then you will come out. We need a crossing track. We'll get that fixed in a sec. Come back to Ambridge. We'll come through on the slow station, on the slow area. So that will be number 2. Yep. No alternates. And we need to fix our switching. So when we are leaving Glenlow, we need some stuff here. I think, yeah, it needs to happen out past those points. And so we'll have a sweep here. Let's go with an 80, since I think we've got the space for it. And we'll do an 80 over here. I'm looking at this number right here. And so that gives us a sweep, and we'll do the same thing on this line as well. You can do around there, and you can go around there. I do like a nice sweeping set of points. I think it looks fantastic. And before we forget, we'll put some signals on here. You can go, it's going to be one ways. You're going to go on there, and you are going to go on there, and that's about it. I think that segment will do. Hearing the train come in. Yeah, this size engine I don't think should be in a key. I think we'll have to change this to a smaller thing. So I think what I'll do is I'll leave this cargo train going up and down the main line, and then we'll have a little ferrying thing across. I think that would make a lot more sense. Yeah, 'cause I don't really want this type of train this big to do flipping. I don't think that makes sense at all. But they are delivering stuff, but there is nobody, or I don't think anybody's in range yet. Nobody's in range. So let's get a depot down so we can get some cargo transport done. We're going to use our favorite one. Let's go for a big boy. Narrow. I'll make this quite big. We'll go for a multi-station thing. I don't think we're going to need it, but I think that's fine. And you know what? I think I'm going to dock it on the side here. I think there actually may be enough space to get 2 of these down. There is. So I'm actually going to reserve the spot. Actually, I should be turning some of this stuff off. And you're going to be town vanilla. And yeah, I'm just going to make this quite big. You know what? Let's bring it down a bit, because this edge over here was touching a bit more than I would like. We'll just make this a little additional one. And we'll get rid of the fences in particular on this one. So yeah, cool. So now we have all this capacity to deliver stuff. So it comes off here and somehow comes over here. Maybe what we should do is actually make it more... Yeah, one should be over there as well. Yeah, let's do that, because this is getting a bit of a curve anyway. Let's put the other one over here. And what we'll do is we'll back it onto it. And keeps these things short, and high capacity none. Yep, and then I'm going to put that there instead. And hopefully we can get the height right. It looks like it's a little bit proud. I think, yeah, I think that's about right. And we'll add a row to this. I think the highway one's good for this. It gives you a nice... That's very industrial look. And I'm going to come all the way over to here for no reason. Yeah, I think that looks good. All right, let's get some stuff delivered in town. So we'll use these ones. And so the bus is going counterclockwise. So let's make these go clockwise. And we'll have one. Yeah, I do like to have them where the bus ones are. It's like kind of associated. And where's the other one? Where's the other bus station? Bus station. Oh, this will do. We'll do it. I think. How far do we have coverage? About there. I mean, we only need to do it down by the station right now. You can see all the efforts over here. And yeah, it's going to go clockwise. Yeah, I think, did I do that other one right? Yeah, I did. And yeah, so it'll go maybe one more over here. Maybe. Yeah. And then we need the other side of town as well. So these guys are going to come up. These guys go, yeah, counterclockwise. So let's do the same thing in reverse there. Over here. And we'll do one kind of near the station. Where should we do this one? Yeah, let's do it right there. All right, let's make some lines. We'll do the west one first. So you can come from this one, and then you're going to go around the loop that way. And so this is going to be called Delivery in Glenlow, and this is going to be on the west of Delivery. And then the other one can come from here and go around this way. And this is going to be on the east. Nice. So let's get some cars on that. What do I do with my station over here? And I think we can go for something that's kind of cute. It doesn't have to be super high capacity. Let's go just 2 on each. Whoops, missed that. And we'll go, Delivery West and Delivery East. Actually, I'm tempted to actually color those. So let's keep with the brown color. And you can be brown. And with this one, manage vehicles. And you can be, get the right thing, you can be a nice purple. So let's have a look at one of those. Yeah, you look cool. Nice. So in theory, our new town of Glenlow will be receiving stuff, even though it's on a cargo line that's kind of janky right now. And we do have a new passenger route as well that goes down to there. So let's finish this episode off and let's get a trend line through here. And I think the road's kind of giving us an idea where it's going to go. And get over Liverpool, and we'll get the Great Western Railway over here, and we would have we can declare that we've finished our kind of like our passenger loop. So yeah, around we come. How high are we? I think we can afford a double down around here. Get down to grade, and off we go. I think I'm just going to relatively YOLO this. I don't think there's any reason to be overly specific. Do I want to come over low? You know what? I think I might come up 1 notch. And we'll have a relatively low bridge. And you can come across level. And you can be a very simple bridge. Yeah, very low bridge. This whole area probably is going to get redesigned, so don't read too much into what I'm doing right now, because I do want to put an airfield over here. This is where a huge amount of industry is going to go in the future. Particularly, I'm trying to reserve parts of the map for use for like the diesel and electric age, and so yeah, this whole area is going to be probably quite complex. Are we going down this way, or are we going, where are we going? Yeah, I like the idea of following this road on, probably want to be on the left side, but we can play with that. Yeah, I think we can actually probably go up and over a little bit at some point, but right here we can skirt it. You know what, nope. Let's bring this back and stay away from that that hill. I don't want to have too many tunnels as we do this. And you can drop speed, that's fine. And then snug it up again. And then I'm actually going to, yeah, we're going to start climbing. Did the road also start climbing? What I want to do, you know what, we can just cross the road. Let's just do that. Let's hit that point. And we will start a sequence of tunnels here. So I'm tempted to drag this pretty long and see what we've got. Yeah, I actually hadn't scouted this much. Yeah, I think this is doable. We just have to do, we'll probably have to do some carving of land, I think. I think as much as this is nice and all, I think I'm going to just minimize some of this. Get rid of some of these peaks. Yeah, it's an interesting balance between keeping the landscaping and also making a diorama at the same time. Actually, I don't think I smoothed out over here. I made all these peaks, but I didn't in the last episode do this. So I'm just going to quickly do that. I think that looks pretty natural again. I don't think I've destroyed that too much. We'll get rid of some of this weird stuff. Yeah, I don't want to get rid of too much because it actually is what makes it look good, having these walls on the right-hand side. I'm okay with this. When you get that white line like that, it's basically, there's a V from the track and then it goes straight up. And same goes down. So yeah, I'm actually kind of okay with that. And let's just push this forward a bit and get rid of that hill. Now, I don't have to let that road dictate what we're doing. Not too bad. All right. Out of interest, if I cross fly this, what's it going to say? Is it going to say too deep, too what? We're going to end up with a semi-okay thing there. That tunnel's too big. I'm not dealing with a tunnel that's too big that much. If we arc it in the air, that's basically what we can achieve. Okay, that works. Okay, that's doable. So yeah, let's start climbing, and we'll climb at a rate of 2. And I'm going to come out straight here, and we'll make that a carve away. And keep on going. Yeah, we are quite deep here, but that's okay. I think we can afford a carve away. Yeah, I'm okay with that. And a bit of a curve, and then this is going to be where we're going to start flattening out again, I think. Or we're still climbing. Oh, there's an interesting little valley over there. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go that way, and we will have a tunnel for that little bit. And we'll come down to grade, if I can actually click the arrow. Yeah, so let's go forward a bit. We'll come down 1 notch, and we'll keep on going down while we can. So that'll be to there, and we'll start the tunnel here. And then that can go like that. And then what happens if we do this? Oh, that's good. Oh, I like that. That's good. I like it. So which side are we on? We are currently on double thing. We are on the left. See the gap there. So we're going to skirt the road, finally cross the road. Didn't cause too much of an issue there. Slow rise up through the canyon. The road got a bit higher, which is fine. This tunnel probably wasn't necessary. And yeah, we're going to have to squeeze another track through there. Yeah, that works. And then you can go in there. So I'm happy with that tunnel. I'm happy with this tunnel. But I'm not happy with the next one. So I think what I'm going to do, and it's also quite close to this road, which I don't want to lose. I'm going to pull this apart and we will do a micro amount of terraforming. Smooth that all out. Make these all hills before we do the last drag. And I think I'm going to go... Yeah, I don't like that. Let's... Yeah, I want the hill to be not too stark before we get in the tunnel. Yeah, it's better. I want it to be like a deliberate, a bit more deliberate than it is right now. Get rid of some of these artifacts that have been caused. Yeah, you go a bit more. You go a bit more white. And before we know it, I think we're good. So, do I want that to be? Yeah, I'm going to keep this on that side and we'll fix it down the line if I'm wrong, because I think that road is a good distance away from us right now. And if it contradicts itself down here, then I will just fix that down the road. Yeah, it's going to contradict ourselves here. So I will detach that. And I think we're good. I think the Great Northern Railway is now going to be attached to the Great Western Railway, both in the south and in the north. All right, signals. Yeah, let's keep some simple ones. This is in the middle of nowhere, so it doesn't need to be one way. I'm just going to do it on logical points where you wouldn't want to keep a train on a bridge or in a tunnel or something. Let's do these as approach. So that's going to go there. We'll work out what the gantry looks like. This is going to be too wide. You're going to go there. And then you are going to go there. And we'll do another set of those right here. Do I want to... I think I'm actually going to do it like this. Go forward one notch. And I think I can squeeze in one of these. It's going to be span 2. And if I get the right spot, look at that. Nice. So they'll queue up here, wait right there. And off they go. Right, let's extend the Great Western, which I think got one train on it. At Riverpool, you currently come in over there, but you are not going to do that anymore. You are going to... these are bypass. There's no platforms on this left-hand side, so even though there's track. So basically, over here is where we should be. We are going to come into 2, and then we're going to add a station. Okay, it gives you an automatic thing trying to do a U-turn somewhere. You are going to come over here, and then you are going to come in on the left side, which is to the west. And then we need to do a crossing track. We'll get that done in a sec. And then you're going to come back to Riverpool, back to the platform that you've been traditionally on, which is number 1. And did I not change this one? I thought I did. 2. Yes, so coming forward, you're going to come in, stop, and out you go. And then out here somewhere, we need to do a switching track, unless I don't want to do it in the station. I don't think I can... Actually, I don't need to do it there. I need to do it down here. Get rid of all those buttons. And yeah, over here we'll do a big swoop. And so you just wait. Just stop. I know you came over here, and you didn't expect it. But we're gonna fix that right now. Why is it saying too much curvature? There it goes. A nice 80 swoop there, and a nice 80 swoop. Actually, we'll even go 100 over here. And come on, give me 100. And then we'll do our trick again with the signals. We'll do real signals. They can be rushing in on the left, and then because you're going across like to oncoming traffic that way, we will put a small one there, and hopefully our gantries all line up. Yep, getting better at that every day. And off they go. So a couple more signals on the line just to make things happy. I think that can go there. That will deal with that. I'm going to go one before we go into that tunnel, and one before we go into that tunnel. And then we'll have one here in the pass. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere here. You know what? I'll get rid of those. I'm going to space these out a fair bit, and we'll put them by this thing, because that way there's a road where people can drive to them and easily maintain them. Once again, there's a nice road here that's nice and close, so they can come over and park and maintain them. And we've got it over that road, we've got it over that bridge, and that spacing is more than enough. And then from a signal point of view, these should be one way because they're entering into a station. That's how we control things. And that's out into the future, so you can see how they're all like that. And done. So if that's that train, who did I stop? Who's over here? Who are you? Oh, you meant to come here. I am a silly Billy. You're meant to come here. This was the inaugural Great Northern Railway run with our beautiful Flying Scotsman. And yeah, you have 87 people. And you were able to fit in there nicely as well. I like it. So yeah, that's them off and running. You're going to swoop across. Need to put in a whole lot of diorama things, fences and all that stuff. But yeah, that's looking pretty cool. So yeah, the town of Glenlow is happy. So that way, yeah, you're trying to go everywhere. From a Great Western Railway. So technically they can go that way to get to Lone Stone, or they can go that way. I assume this gets Glenlow to Ambridge, and then they can get on an express train if they want to transfer, and then go down the line, because that skips past Reeds and Trent. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see which way they prefer to go from a speed point of view. Let's go on the inaugural run over to Glenlow of the Great Western Railway. I doubt we have anybody actually on board right now who wants to go this way, but at least the service is in action. Obviously, we need to do some fences, we need to do some ballasting. I have really enjoyed the last two episodes. Getting the cargo across and getting that key made was a lot of fun. And we got a little bit of problems fixed today with the way that the key docked with the railway line. This is going to be fun. Now, what are we going to do in this area in the future? So we don't have any of the ore type things, so like the iron ore and the coal ore right now. And it means we don't have a steel industry. So I think this area of the map is very well suited. Because of the hills and stuff, we can kind of, set the law that the area has those minerals in the mountains. And so I want to try to do some underground mine stuff. I know I've seen a video online where someone did a complete underground one. I don't think I'm going to go that far, and it's not because I think it looks bad or anything. In fact, it looks fantastic. I just don't think the hills are big enough. I think the scale is off. And so if you want to get a train underground and do a U-turn and stuff, I think that's a little bit problematic when the hills are the scale that we have. But we do need to get those two online. For the coal, I want to actually use it for two reasons. I want to have the coal turn into both, steel, the traditional way of using it, but I also want to use it as a power plant thing. So I want to pull it out of the ground and then probably through conveyor belts rather than trains, deliver it to a diorama of a power plant, and then we can use that as the grounding, the routing of how all of the power is being generated in this land. There's a really cool video about where do all of the power lines in Red Dead Redemption go, and also GTA 5, and both of those, is it Austin? I think this is the channel name. Both of those are really interesting because he talks about how close to reality those game developers have got to actually modeling the lines correctly. In both cases, there's actually some problems, but it does inspire me to make substations and distribution stuff. Oh, this is okay. This is kind of cool. It's up and down. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, it's not unbelievably too much. Yeah, I think around here, I think I'm tempted to do like that hedgy style, you know, small cottage farm type thing that you might see in England. So I might we might have an episode around that makes some a little, you know, cozy feel with a couple of small cottages and stuff. Definitely a place where we could put some more hamlets down. Yeah, something that's going to maybe be the supporting infrastructure for the coal and the iron ore. So yeah, that would then generate steel. One of the things I do want to do is actually with the key we've made is I want to bring in fish, but I don't want the fish to be the end product. What I want to do is join the fish with steel and then make a fish canning factory where basically the steel is the cans. And then I don't know whether I want to make food out of that one. I'm tempted to actually treat it more like tools, where the can kind of the can of the fish kind of looks like the gear icon, because I don't really have that many industry chains right now that would lead towards that type of thing, towards the tool-based thing. Now obviously we can work on that, but yeah, I think that would be kind of cool to have the fish you know, be more like a long-term storage, long-term availability, preserving of the food, rather than bringing it out as food, which is like the bread icon. Do that. This is looking pretty good. I think the terraining that we did, it wasn't too egregious. I think the bridges look kind of, not the bridges, the tunnels look pretty good, or the bridge before looked good too. I'm not a big fan of huge tunnels, so I think that length is probably my limit, and I'm happy with that. We'll probably have to play with these roads a little. I don't know whether you would have a tunnels up against a road that was so close. But here we come into our new town of Glenlow. I don't know why we came to the right terminal when the line is specified for the left. That's the type of thing that tends to happen when you have the first run. There's people everywhere. Actually, this person, there's obviously got passengers right there. I wonder if anybody actually wants to come on board. I think I'm going to view it this way. We'll click on the station. Yeah, 20 people want to go that way. And, oh, I do have the wrong platform, so it needs to be changed. When we're in Glenlow, I want you to be on 1. There you go. I think I didn't have the switch in there when I set it, so that's why it was wrong. So what should be happening right now is a whole lot of people should be running for the bridges if they're not happy with what I just did. Yeah. But yeah, everybody's coming in, and then looks like a lot of people are predominantly looking forward to going on the Great Northern Railway. I don't know whether this one train is going to be enough for this line. We will find out. Finances wise, it's been okay. Should do a quick scroll out. Are we looking at big numbers? So left. Yeah, look at that. They want to go north. 26 people want to go north. And over here, 100 people. Yeah, this is the only problem with having a line that's so long. If there's a big desire to go across here, you've got all this debt going to the north just to come back again. But yeah, I think we'll have a look-see. If a lot of people get off the train before they get here, then this 110 might be fine. But we might actually be at the point where we actually can have our second Great Western line. And yeah, it looks cool. And then I am tempted to have maybe a train that just does loops. That's the other thing, rather than point to point. My original plan was to bring the Great Western over to here, but I think that would have been a mistake. I think I like the idea much more to have this remote town. But what we could do, I guess, the Great Northern could be the counterclockwise that goes around, and the Great Western is this way. It could be long term. I'll probably just in the diesel era. We'll play with making a clockwise and anti-clockwise loop, and see how it goes. But yeah, I'm happy with this. We've got a fixed river water basin all done. I think the texture under the ground looks okay. I think it's come out okay. And it's going to be fun to see a train go over here. We're going to have to force a train over here somehow. Yeah, once we get some cargo stuff going over here, some industries, they'll probably have to come past here, and then that bridge will activate. So that'll be fun to see. But yeah, I think the town of Glenlow has been established. I'm looking for a train to ride along, but I'm not seeing any. And yeah, it's going to be great to see this area of the map come to life as we continue on. As always, don't forget to press subscribe so you don't miss all that action. And if you've got this far, shove a cheeky like on the video. And yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time as we play the Eras map. Bye, everybody.